Hi, I'm here with Tabitha Hume again, and she's going to give us a brief explanation of what Syndrome X is and the idea behind the X diet and the principles. Hi, how are you, Tabitha?
Hi, absolutely great. Thank you. And you?
Fantastic. Very well, thanks. So, shoot away.
Good.
What's the idea behind Syndrome X?
Well, Syndrome X sounds really weird and nebulous, and people kind of think, my gosh, is this part of, Generation X? Is everyone lost and doing weird things? Well, it's not really so weird once you understand the concept. Basically, up until very recently, probably up until about the last 10 years, people have been treated for various different disorders, which I'll list just now. And now we realize that they shouldn't really be treated individually. They should be treated all at once, really. And that's why we've called this sort of nebulous conglomeration of disorders. We've called it Syndrome X because it is kind of a disorder that we weren't really very sure about, but we did know that it included all of these different disorders. And those disorders, in a nutshell, are obesity, especially around the truncal area or the gut area. It's the kind of pear shape rather than the apple shape, so that kind of weight gain around the tum area. It's also high blood pressure. It's also high cholesterol. When the cholesterol goes up, especially certain parts of the cholesterol reading, things like triglycerides, etc., go up very high. It also is to do with kidney disorders, kidney disease, etc., and kidney failure, but that's fairly advanced in the Syndrome X spectrum. It also includes polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is very interesting for a lot of women. It affects 1 in 6 women in South Africa currently, and it's a type of infertility that is caused by a type of insulin disorder, which is very much a part of Syndrome X, and I treat polycystic ovarian syndrome. And also other disorders such as gout and inflammatory disorders such as arthritis, which a lot of people suffer from and have to take medication for. And then, of course, diabetes, type 2 or adult onset diabetes. That is also an abnormality of the insulin function in the body, and that is as a result of the insulin problems and obesity, but also it can lead to obesity itself. So it's quite an interconnected set of problems. But as you can see, those individual disorders have been treated sort of individually up until recently. Now we know, put them all together, they're all to do with a problem in a person's ability to metabolize carbohydrates and fats, and that is directly due to insulin resistance. And it's quite interesting because insulin resistance is more common than we think. There are a lot of causes of insulin resistance. Some of them I'll include now, which are stress and anxiety and depression. Some of them are eating a diet that is too high in fat. It can sometimes be due to not enough exercise. It can be due to not only eating a diet high in fat, but also having too much fat on the actual body. If we've got a lot of fat on our bodies, we've also got a lot of fat in our blood at any given time because the blood is moving around our bodies all the time. And when we have too much fat in the body and therefore too much fat in the blood, we get that insulin problem, that insulin resistance. It can also be due to cortisol treatment and certain hormone treatments. It can also be due to, unfortunately, eating disorders, or people who have gone on yo-yo dieting and have sort of lost a lot of weight on crash diets, and then have suddenly gained again, and then lost a lot and gained again. And it's that sort of low-calorie or low-carbohydrate diet which can definitely lead to this insulin resistance, which in the long term exacerbates to all the other problems. So, there are many other causes of insulin resistance, but those are the really sort of common ones. And those are the ones that I treat, and we delve down into the patient's past and what's been going on, and then we can treat them accordingly. And the nice part is it's really easy to treat. You don't have to stop. In fact, you're not allowed to because you can see it makes it worse. So the person can have fun learning about foods, dismissing the old-fashioned myths of, I need to starve, I need to eat boring food in order to do well. Absolutely not. We are changing all of that currently and saying, let's have some fun, let's get you healthy, and let's really eat to be merry. Eat, drink, and be merry, and smile a lot, and indulge a lot, and socialize a lot. And that's really my biggest mission, and it's working.
Fantastic. Well, that's excellent. That's good news. Thanks, Tabitha.
Yes.
And we will
touch
sides in the next podcast.
Fantastic. Look forward.
Excellent, then. Cheers.
Bye-bye then.